Hello guys, and welcome back to another video of me covering, you guessed it, Tiger King Season 2. No, I'm not going to do that. Cowboy Bebop Season 1, Episode 3, Dog Star Swing. If you guys are returning from my other videos which covered episodes 1 and 2, I will also leave a link for those down below, and you guys can go ahead and also wait to the end of the video because it will show up at the end screen. But yeah, if you guys are returning from those videos, I really do appreciate you guys coming back around and also voicing your support down in the comments below. I do know that this show is divisive. Now, before I get into the reaction, I just want to disclose that this show isn't perfect. And the show isn't for everyone. I think there is some value in trying to find the good in things, and also the value in understanding that the original won't be tarnished. It's not like the original gets snapped out of existence and gets just Thanos'd. It's still there. You guys can still watch it. And also, I am understanding of the argument that watching shows and supporting shows like this that are remakes of original properties or original IPs perpetuates the idea to studios that they can continue to do this. While there is an argument there, the thing is, they don't really care about us. Studios, regardless, are going to find whatever IPs they can get their hands on and try to make money out of that, because when it comes down to it, studios are about monetization. That's it. They see green. Alright? Our opinions and our comments down below really don't matter in the grand scheme of things. There are no executives that are going into YouTube comments and saying, Big Boner 69 said that he doesn't like the show. Guess we gotta stop making it. These decisions had been made far before we even knew we had a problem with them existing. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I am just enjoying it for what it is, and it's here, and I'm reacting to it, and that's it. That's really all it is. I'm not taking any sides. I'm just pretty neutral on the entire thing. I have always liked the idea though of finding the good in something despite all the negative reception that it gets, because I think there is some value in trying to uncover something good. I know it sounds really preachy, but it's also just better for my mental health to kind of go into things that I feel that I have some reservations for and try to find some good out of it. So, I don't know, that's kind of my perspective on everything, and I don't think that this show so far is perfect by any means, but I think there are some really great things about this show so far that are worth mentioning when I'm reacting to it. That being said, I really do appreciate you guys watching this video regardless. It means a lot to me, and the fact that you guys are so hyped up down in the comments below, it really does cheer me up, and engaging with the comments down below is one of the best things ever. Thank you guys, and yeah, let's just get right into the episode. Alright, let's do it. By the way guys, how do you like your coffee? Black or with creamer? I'm a black guy. I'm a black coffee guy. I'm not saying I'm a black guy. Wow, rough start. That looks so good.
Next customer.
You know, I got my stepdad some headphones like that, and he never wears them. I'm gonna steal them from him.
I hear the sake here on Mars is only good when it rains.
Why is that so funny? Also, what are you guys, team wooden chopsticks or team metal chopsticks? I'm a wooden guy.
No trouble.
We don't accept Canadian.
Stay in the city, and I'll find you.
Alright, right into the intro already. So right off the bat, in the beginning of the episode, they start with Vicious knowing that Spike is alive. Now, we already knew that by the end of, I think, even episode 1, and partially addressing it at the end of episode 2. So, is their confrontation going to come earlier, I guess, in this series, or I guess appropriately in the original, or whatever timeline you guys want to follow? But in the timeline of the show, I think they're going to encounter each other earlier, or at least they're building up that tension for us to see them both. Now, I'm most concerned with the chemistry between the villain and the antagonist, or the protagonist, I'm sorry. So I'm trying to see what kind of chemistry they're going to have, and I'm also very curious on what kind of chemistry that he's going to have with Julia. Just because what I'm seeing of Julia so far, I don't know, isn't a lot for me to be sold on Julia. I don't know, a lot of things to look forward to, and hopefully my concerns will be addressed. And also, where the hell's Ein? And where's Faye at? Is she going to show up in this episode? I hope so. Alright, let's go. Oh god. It's like a Cabbage Patch and a Barbie.
Supplies are limited, so
Ugh, I don't like the fact that you can see her teeth. She got no neck. She looks like Big Ed.
damn thing
Oh, that's the doll that Jet wants. Your daughter has no taste, Jet.
Sure, and already found the hookup. Chad says he knows a guy who knows a guy.
Every Chad thinks they know a guy that knows a guy.
You could sell your arm.
I could put my fist up your ass.
True, and it would feel really good, but
I love some good old fist in the ass humor. That one caught me off guard.
This image is from a security camera, which means we need Woodcock.
I'm praying that's a person.
He said woodcock.
Jet black.
How are you, Woodcock?
Better.
That's not who I was expecting to be, woodcock.
Depends on who you ask.
I like you, kitty cat.
I'm uncomfortable.
Dinner. Me, you, bottle of Chianti. 2 bottles if we're feeling dangerous.
I don't
Sounds to me
this.
like blackmail.
You're damn right it is, because Jet, you are black and you are male.
But yeah, I don't. I hate this conversation.
So you two really...
Spike.
Okay. Which one? There's only 2 low-rent brothels in Tharsis. Betty's Boop and Betty's Bottom. Because if this whole doll thing doesn't work out, they got a really nice gift shop.
Oh. Ew. That takes Catfish to a whole new level.
Well, I'm glad you don't consider extortion a violation of your parole.
Man, he'll do literally anything for that doll.
Fucking cowboy, huh? You just like
Porn. Okay. I hope this fight looks good.
Hey, watch it, man.
Dude. Oh my god. That was the saddest moment of the show so far. Poor guy. Can't decide which is a better scaffolding fight, this one or the one in Shang-Chi. I'm gonna give it to Shang-Chi. Yeah, I don't know, something about the pacing of these fights and just maybe the way it's shot, but it just feels a little slow, man. And I don't mind that because it sort of feels like it's pulling from like 70s blaxploitation films or like the early Kung Fu. But I don't know, Bruce Lee fights coming out of that era had a lot more energy to them, and these feel a little bit like they're on Ambien. I don't know if that's a creative decision or it's because the actors themselves couldn't do it quick enough, or maybe the editors aren't speeding up the fights a little bit, because that's something that they do.
Nice.
When they edit that was funny. When they edit fights, they ramp up the speed just to give it a little bit more punch. But yeah, there's just something. Feels a little slow. What's it look like Jet's flying? Oh, he's sliding. Oh. Sally! I thought for some reason Sally was gonna save Spike. Ugh, gross. I hate dolls. No, he just has to be cool, doesn't he?
What the hell are you doing?
Waiting for you to pull me back up.
I think this would have been a great intro to this episode. Just kind of like a, I don't know, like an interesting cold open. Like how did he get in this scenario? I think that would have been a really good opener right there, over the one that we got. I am seeing a lot more nipple than I was thinking that I was gonna see in this episode. So I'm definitely not going to show you guys this part, or else this video is gonna be taken down. Yeah, I can't show you guys any of that.
You have the power. You control your destiny.
Ray, these are your first steps. Alright, so a little more time with Julia. I appreciate that. Appreciate that? Oh my god. I can't handle words today.
I'm here. You do? She's got one.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic.
Not all the banter between these two characters works for me all the time, but there's like little moments where I'm like, alright, that was pretty perfect. Just him like casually tossing that doll. Those little things. Little character moments. I like that.
Let's cut our losses. Get the hell off of Tharsis.
Catharsis. Is that the name of the planet? Did I miss that? That's funny.
He's definitely got a regular girl. I mean, I do. I mean, I would. You don't go to Betty's bottom and not get bottom.
Excuse me? Is Spike implying that he's a bottom? You know what? That's great. We love our bisexual king, Spike Spiegel. See, I'm forgetting that Ein is a part of the story because they haven't introduced Ein the entire time. So I was like, oh yeah, Ein was a part of the story. He was associated with this character. And it's also tripping me that half the time he looks like a completely different guy. He looks like a completely different race. So I'm just like, oh yeah, that's right. Yes! I got what I wanted. This is the Ein episode. Wait. What the? If I see a dog die in this episode, I'm losing my shit. Don't you dare.
Get me.
Oh, so cute.
You never answer my question
What question?
about Chalmers.
Whether I put a bullet in him? No. That'd be too quick and painless for that asshole. If I could get away with it, I'd pull Chalmers into a dark alley and put my metal fist right through his smiley fucking face.
Face? I thought you would want to put it in his ass.
I need a package.
Sushi. Oh, my mouth is watering. I keep recording these videos when I'm super hungry. It's a problem.
What can I get for 7 moves? Thanks.
Whoa.
I'm already late
that a pizza
for
cutter?
my midnight bukkake, and I still have 2.
I'm not a betting man, but if you told me that this episode was gonna mention the word bukkake, I would have bet against you. But life is full of surprises, isn't it?
His Hund! Hund! A Hund! A Hund.
Oh, this is this is a lot for me. This is sensory overload right now.
He won't even pay for the pinky end of a double-sided dildo he is a...
That's another word I wasn't expecting in this episode. Double-sided dildo. All right, well, I mean, I'm not even monetized, but now I know I wouldn't even stand a chance.
Not by choice, mistress.
Spike. Let's go.
Spike is a kinky freak, dude. I don't remember this side of him in the show.
Check this out.
Here, take a look on my iPod Nano.
Yeah, normally I give a shit about motive and all, but right now, I'm short of...
Oh, look at him.
Did you see that?
Oh, so cute. Oh, that's my favorite character right there. I wonder if Spike hates dogs or hates animals and kids like he does in the original in this one.
Oh, what are you doing down there?
I was gonna kill him.
Why the hell would you do that?
That's just it. I couldn't do it. It wasn't fair. They didn't do anything.
No shit, they're just dogs.
Not to those rich assholes. For years, I've dreamed of paying those entitled shitheels back. Of taking away the things that they loved.
That's a weird plan. It's flawed.
I mean, they're so adorable. They don't deserve to die.
You're right, they don't.
I didn't know we would be going over the moral implications or quandaries of killing animals in this episode, and hearing the word bukkake and double-sided dildo. This episode is a lot. Also, the fact that they changed Hakim's backstory a little bit It's interesting, but it's a weird twist on it, because why would he kill the dogs? Just kill the owners. If you want revenge, why? Just kill the owners. Those guys are the assholes, not the little puppers.
I know.
Oh, no. Aw. I actually kind of liked Hakim in this one.
That money was ours. That money was ours!
Let's go.
So we got corruption in the ISSP.
So calm, man.
Let's go.
I feel like they're going to tie that into Jet's backstory. Probably a reason why he became a bounty hunter in this series. Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. I think this episode is diverging a lot from the original and really taking ownership and doing its own thing. Wow. He lives in the suburbs. Of course he does. Oh, did he get her? Is he going to give her Ein? I hope not, because I really want Ein to be on the ship. If Ein's not on the Bebop, please. I really hope she has a dog allergy.
I got your present.
Is it a walking Sally doll?
No, sweetie. Something better.
I got you a gun. Nah. I hope it's not Ein. Oh, it's Ein. Oh, he's so cute, but also no.
Does he have a name?
Uh-huh.
E-I-N.
That's right, baby. His name is Ein.
I love him so much.
Me too.
Pretty great, right?
No, Jet. Not great.
Oh, thank God. She disapproves. Yes. If I don't see Ein in every episode, I am losing my shit.
She deserves to not fall in love with something she can't keep.
I see. The parallels between him and Ein. I get it.
Brother.
Well, I'll be damned.
Of course. Of course. Yeah, look at him. Oh, he's so cute. Ah. He's so adorable, man.
Can I call him sometime?
Thank God. Can I call him sometime? So I guess in this one, Ein isn't really, the tech dog. He's not housing any valuable information or anything. He's just the dog, which I'm fine with.
I have the power of the syndicate behind me. I'm untouchable.
I see you got yourself a new set of wheels. You're still hiding behind bulletproof glass.
Alright, that was kind of fun, guys. Come on. Alright, I enjoyed that ending quite a bit. I enjoyed this episode quite a bit. So yeah, I did have some problems with the episode overall, but I also really enjoyed a lot of what this episode really introduced, which was diverging from the main story from the original, while also adding Ein, because, Ein's a fan favorite, and he's also just an adorable dog. So adding that to the episode is always a plus, but the way they added him was interesting. The way that they introduced Hakim in this was very different, where it, halfway through the episode, it didn't even click to me that that was that character from the anime. Originally, he was the one who lost the dog after stealing him from a facility, and then the dog gets picked up by some stranger who tries to sell him at a pet shop, and then Spike is on this wild goose chase trying to find Hakim and also trying to find the dog, and it's a crazy episode, and I really loved it in the original series. But in this one, it's very different, because this one has a lot more BDSM than I was even considering at the beginning of the episode. First off, I really like the banter for the most part between Jet and Spike. I really like their relationship kind of building up. It's really interesting to me that we're not seeing any of Faye at all in these following 2 episodes after we were introduced to her character in the first episode, which I really feel like was a mistake to introduce her so early on. I feel like they were sort of trying to tease her and being I don't know, I think they assumed that the audience was really going to get connected with that character and really like her based on that first episode, and that we were going to be pining and waiting for her to show up again. But my first impressions off of that first episode of Faye, I wasn't really too impressed. It didn't really work for me. And to introduce her so early and kind of hint that maybe she would be a part of the crew and then just not show her for the following 2 episodes is really strange. And the fact that they're not even addressing her at all, it's strange. It's really strange. And also, she didn't really add anything to that first episode in terms of the plot. So, I don't know, overall, just interesting that they're keeping her out. I know that she's going to be a bigger part in future episodes based on the comments that you guys are leaving, so I am anticipating that, but so far it's just like I'm almost forgetting that her character exists within the show. And she's such a critical element of the Bebop crew in the original, so it's just like I don't know how they're going to squeeze more of her development into these upcoming episodes. That in mind though, there are 7 episodes, so there is plenty of time, but it is strange. And I guess that kind of leads me into some of the cons of this episode, because overall I did enjoy the episode. I thought that seeing a little bit more of Vicious and then having Julia have that moment with Anna was really nice. Vicious is kind of coming off as kind of a B-grade villain, the one who's just like, oh, I'll get you, and like, you know, just all about vengeance and killing people for no reason just to kind of prove a point as like a power play or whatever. And I always hate that trope when it comes to villainy. I always like the villains who seem a little bit more calculated, who seem like they are effortlessly maneuvering through the criminal underworld. And I feel like Vicious, while not effortlessly, and I feel like there should be some resistance in your antagonist in terms of their goals, but I feel like in this one he is coming off as kind of snobbish, and I do think that characterization can work for villains, but I don't think it's being executed as well in here. I do like that Spike is sort of chasing him now rather than it the other way, so I think that is going to be a lot more interesting, and I think that does lead into more characterization for him in future episodes, because now he's kind of the one on the run, or at least there's going to be more of a cat and mouse kind of thing going on between the two. So I am looking forward to that, but overall in terms of Vicious, I'm not entirely sold on him. I have heard mixed reviews saying that Vicious is one of the more developed characters and one of the characters that they actually enjoyed from the series. But then those same critics and reviewers are saying that the Bebop crew are weaker than Vicious, and I feel like they're a strength as far as my experience watching the show has been so far. So I don't know, it's really just divisive. And also taking a look at the Rotten Tomato score and looking at how they aggregate reviews, it's really like a 50% on there really just means that the show is divided. It doesn't mean that the show is graded as an F by all reviewers. It means that some reviewers really like it and some reviewers really hate it. So when you take that score into consideration and you take all of those reviews, then it gets like around a 50%, or I think around like a 45 or something like that. So more people disliking it barely than there are people that are enjoying it, because really it is based on fresh or rotten. That is really what it comes down to. That's why I usually take Rotten Tomato scores with a grain of salt, and I take my own viewing experience into consideration over critical score from like Metacritic or Rotten Tomatoes, just because, you know, who's the best judge? Your own version of how you watch things or someone else's version, right? Because we all have different world experiences that, you know, factor into our viewing experience. And I really do think that really matters, is having your own opinion on things. Based on just my viewing experience alone, I'm having a pretty decent time. I'm enjoying this interpretation. I think it's very interesting in what direction they're going. I'm hoping that they continue to go in weirder direction. I hope they continue to explore different parts of the universe that they have built. So yeah, overall enjoying it. But yeah, like I said, I'm going into my cons. So one of the things that I really didn't like, and take this as a nitpick, and maybe I'll go into a little bit deeper, but the suburbs that we see Jet living in, and we finally get to see his daughter, and we get to see his ex-wife. Jet having a family or having an ex-wife and a kid is not a problem with me. If there was one person who is sort of the parental figure of the Bebop crew, it's Jet. So that being said, that's not the issue that I have with this episode. The issue that I have, in, like I said, this is a nitpick, I feel that they're cutting corners a little bit in terms of what they can do with the world or expanding the world, because a lot of the settings that they're showing in the show so far are using like literally a suburban background with, you know, you can kind of see a planet off in the distance in the sky, and that's pretty much it. That's our world building that we sort of get. That aspect of the show, I'm sort of like, okay, I understand where you need to spend your budget on, but it is kind of disappointing that we are seeing things that I see every day in this series. And I know that there's an argument saying that suburbs wouldn't necessarily go away in 2070 or whatever year that this takes place, because I know that it's in the not too far future. I mean, far from me, but not that far. In this series, I feel like it's just our world, and that's it, because there's modern cars going around, and there's also cars that are from like the 60s and the 70s in the background, and that is interesting. It does add a retro feel to the show overall, but I do really want to see more space stuff. Like, that's kind of what I really liked about Cowboy Bebop, is that there was an aesthetic of like the costume design being sort of relative to the 70s, and you could even argue early 80s, but then there was also kind of like this cyberpunk feel to it as well, while also being wrapped up in noir with a jazz and blues rhythm to it. That was always something that was really interesting about the original series, and like I said, I don't want to keep comparing it to the original series, but for this one I feel like tonally it's a little bit all over the place, and also I feel like the settings and where they could possibly go in this huge world feel like it's very limited by the budget. And I know that's not something I can really fault to the creators, because they probably would want to go out and explore and do something really wild and different and show very expansive and interesting locations, but based on what they have and based on how much money that Netflix gives them for taking a risk like this, for recreating a show that is so popular like this, it's, you know, they probably had to cut corners, and I don't want to fault the show for that, but I just feel like for myself and for what I was anticipating on seeing, it kind of fell short. Like I said, it's a nitpick. It's not something that deters from the story, because at the end of the day, what matters is the story, the writing, the characters. And so that is the next thing I want to talk about, is some of the banter and some of the writing between the characters. I don't know if it's necessarily the direction or the writing in itself, because I did get one viewing, but I didn't really get to do a deep dive onto it. But I feel like some of the joking between Spike and Jet can sometimes feel forced, but then there are little character moments between the two where it feels very natural, and that's stuff I really like. I think that there are moments like that where I feel like the writing needs to rely on the strength of its writing rather than the characters reacting to it in a way that tells the audience that that is how we should feel. Does that make sense? Okay, sounds like I'm being way too harsh, and I probably am. So I'll just move on to the next thing I really felt divisive on, which was the whole Hakim storyline, and I kind of mentioned it in the reaction while I was watching it. But yeah, Hakim being a character with a tragic past who had his planet abandoned by the richest people, and all the escape pods were used for their pets, is very interesting. But his plan to get revenge was just very flawed, and I get he's not the brightest character. You can kind of tell from the actor that he's not supposed to be the brightest character. I just thought that was really interesting that he chose to kill the animals, and he couldn't do it, which made him a more endearing character. But the fact that that was his plan was really dumb. I mean, just kill the owners. They're the ones that did it. And yeah, he comes to that realization himself, but I just think by the time you got the first dog, I think you should have known your plan was flawed. it's just what? I don't know. He could have just been someone who was, you know, stealing dogs for the information, because in the original world of Cowboy Bebop, these dogs are housing information in them. That's what makes them valuable. So yeah, it could have easily just been that, but they didn't go that direction. Also, along with that were the fights. I just feel like the fights have very low energy to them, and I don't know if that's just me, guys, but I just feel like they are well choreographed, but there is just not a lot of impact. Out of all those things I didn't like, there were some bright moments within them where I think it would be a good thing if it was a stylistic choice by the director, but if it's not, then it really does feel like it was sort of a flaw of the episode. But that's just kind of my opinion on it. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. What did you guys think of episode 3? Do you think the series is getting better as it keeps going, or do you feel like your enjoyment of the episode or the series overall is dipping down as the episodes continue? Please let me know in the comments down below, but do not include spoilers for anyone who is not past episode 3. Like myself, do not spoil anything. Just let me know what you guys think of the improvement overall of the series, and just let me know your thoughts down below. Did you guys enjoy some of the changes that they made to the original source material? Are you guys enjoying the changes? Please let me know. I'm really curious on what you guys have to think. That being said, guys, the holidays are coming up. Thanksgiving is this week, and I don't know if most of you guys celebrate Thanksgiving, but if you do, I hope that you guys are fat and happy on that day. I hope that you are well fed. I hope that you are surrounded by people that you love, and if not, I hope that you are feeling love, and I hope that you are having a good day. I hope that you are staying healthy. I hope that you are waking up happy and excited to do the things that you do. And yeah, guys, I would say to like, comment, and subscribe, but instead of doing that, why don't you just go and give a loved one a hug, or send a text to a loved one, or just tell anyone how thankful you are of them. I hope that you make their day, and I hope that your day is made. And yeah, guys, that's it. That's all I got for you, and I'll probably see you guys in the next one. So yeah, as always, I will see you later.